but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know, we're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki.
Mic check 1 2. Good afternoon, guys. Welcome down to Vibe at City Park. Just let me know in the comment section if you guys are hearing me clearly. Might need to turn this down a bit. But as I was saying, welcome down to another statutory here at City Hall. They are currently holding statutory meetings at the Kitty Market due to repairs currently going on at City Hall. Meeting is scheduled to start at 2 p.m. However, we're yet to see the arrival of the mayor and quite a few councillors not here as yet. I do see the staff from the admin department here, the town clerk. She is here along with several heads of department, also representation from the city constabulary department here at City Hall. So we're waiting here for things to kick off. It looks like it will be another late start for City Hall today. Special good afternoon to Councillor Stephanie Nelson Moore. Councillor, Jesus Christ. We gotta talk. Jesus. But anyway, we'll go back to some music as we await the arrival of the mayor and the councillors. The mayor, the deputy mayor, and the councillors here for today's statutory. Do me a favor, share the live if you're looking at us on YouTube. Give us a like and share. Subscribe to the channel so you will be notified of upcoming broadcasts and things of this nature. And we will be going back to the music again. As we wait for the arrival of the rest of councillors and the mayor and town clerk. Sorry, not the town clerk, mayor and deputy mayor. The town clerk is sitting right in front of us right there. That's the town clerk. You got Councillor Diarmas, Councillor Jacobs right there, and a few PNC councillors here. Of course, you're hearing Councillor Hines doing what he does best.
Of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night, though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it, we have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river, that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass.
Okay guys, so I got the agenda for
We
today.
ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree.
So let's give you an idea of what the Mayor and City Council of the City of Georgetown statutory meeting from Monday, June 24, 2024, scheduled to start at 2 p.m. as you will see here. Right, so they have the confirmation of minutes of the statutory dated June 18, 2024. Opening remarks by His Worship, the Mayor of Georgetown, Alfred Mentor, and who I must reiterate has not cleared the phone bill, nor submitted the report from the trip to review markets in Ghana as well. Then we move on to responses to the decision of statutory meeting dated Tuesday, June 18, the reception of departmental reports. The acceptance of departmental reports. So you have a report from the Human Resource Department from May 2024, City Constabulary Department for May 2024, Solid Waste Department for May, Public Health Department for May, City Engineers Department, the City Treasury, the Markets Department, and the Town Clerks Department for 2024. They'll also be looking at pensions and gratuity for a few ranks there at the City Constabulary. They'll be looking at the leave of absence for former mayor and current councillor Patricia James Green for the month of July. Any other business, notice of questions, and date of next statutory meeting. So based on what we're seeing here, I don't think much will be discussed about flooding, garbage collection, rates and taxes, things that the citizens of the city are interested in hearing about. Um, so we're here for another statutory. We're live, so you'll be able to hear and understand exactly what's going on and see how the money of the city is spent.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river
So again, if you're just joining us, we're coming
That's
to
a
you
blade
live
of
from the
grass.
Kitty Market,
We ain't giving up no
the
mountain.
conference room,
We ain't giving up
where
no
the Mayor
tree.
City Council is scheduled
We
to
ain't
have
giving up
its
no
statutory
river
for
that
today,
belongs to
dated
we.
the 24th of
Not
June
one blue
2024.
saki,
As I
not
said to
one
you
rice
before, we are still
grain,
awaiting
not
the
one
arrival of the
grass.
Mayor,
Not a
the
blade of
Deputy Mayor.
grass.
Several councillors are here from both sides. However, quite a few are still missing. The statutory is scheduled to start at 2, 2 p.m. It's quarter past 2. And again, only the admin staff seems to be here in full force. Nevertheless, I came across an article in the Starbrook News I wanted to share with you guys. If you could see clearly what I'm seeing there. This is the focus of the Mayor and City Council. This is the focus of Mayor Mentor. Not the plight of the citizens of the
We are a
city,
peaceful
not
people.
upgrading
Struggle as
the
we struggle.
not upgrading the the city constabulary, new equipment, a new building, probably some training. That is not the focus of the mayor. The mayor has his eyes locked on the Qatari project, right? Locked. And if you'd like, you could check the story here in today's Starbuck News, where the mayor now wants to facilitate a presentation by the Qatari investors, still holding on to this issue, which has been proven and vetted in certain quarters, right? So again, this is the focus of the Georgetown Mayor, Mr. Alfred Mentor. Instead of we look at flooding in the city, instead of we focus on garbage collection, instead of we focus on upskilling and uptooling the city constabulary, instead of we focus on the markets, Border Market, Border Green, Merriman's Mall, Starbrook Market. They have a golden opportunity with the wharf that the Ministry of Public Works would have recently demolished to start at least a conversation on a possible structure to replace the wharf that was there, someplace to house vendors. But yet again, we see this is not the focus of the mayor. His interest lies here, lies here. And again, nothing on the agenda to speak to garbage collection, drainage works, markets, road works in the capital city, right? So we'll hear here the vein the discussion takes once City Hall starts, the statutory meeting starts for today. Guys, share the live. We're coming to you live from the Kitty Market conference room, where the statutory schedule to well, it's going to be held here today. When it will start, we don't know. As I said to you, it's slated for 2 p.m. and as of now, we still are yet to see the arrival of the mayor, the chief citizen, and the deputy chief citizen, the persons with the constitutional responsibility for the capital city. We're mandating 2801, but yet to arrive.
We are a peaceful people. Struggle as we struggle. And we don't look for trouble. Just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountain, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, not one rice grain, not one grass.
Good afternoon. Hey, Cardell. 2 o'clock statutory. What's going on?
It's the usual thing. Sometimes, or very often, meetings don't start until an hour after the scheduled time.
I had a quick look at the agenda for today. A lot of reports being submitted, some people being they're up for gratuity. I see the former mayor going on leave. Nothing really to address the core issues in the city: drainage, garbage collection, road works. What are your thoughts on this?
Not surprising. The battle should be fought now and in the public domain. Obviously, we bring all of our concerns to the statutory meeting as we're allowed to do, as we're supposed to do. But this is an exercise in futility.
No, I just saw in Stabrook News, well, the mayor has just arrived. I just saw in Stabrook News they're expecting to have a presentation made to City Hall. Do you think the priorities or the importance is not where it's supposed to be?
Yeah, we need to. The city's not functioning properly; it's dysfunctional. These things, which by the way, the first that I've seen of it was when I saw it in the paper. So we had no notice of any. I saw the presentation.
So, as a council, you're saying you don't know of any
No,
presentation?
apart from what I've seen in the papers.
So, this seems like it's a unilateral decision from the mayor's office.
Yeah, it almost always is.
All right, so that's Councillor Diarmas. We see the mayor's here. Hopefully, we're about to get started with today's statutory. So we're going to go back to the live stream happening here at the Kitty Market. Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you.
So, guys, as I said, Mayor Mentor is finally here.
This meeting is officially called to order. This is a duly constituted statutory meeting of the Mayor Council of the City of Georgetown. Will you come forward? Please lead us in prayer, one by a time.
Almighty God, who has infinite wisdom and providential will, has appointed ruling authorities for the welfare of society and the just government of men. We beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor to us, thy servants, who thou hast been pleased to call to the performance of such important trust over this city. We acknowledge, O Lord, our dependence upon thee in all things, and our inability to execute duly the duties on which we are about to enter without thy divine assistance. We therefore pray unto thee to endue our minds with wisdom and knowledge, and to impress our hearts with a deep sense of the fear of thy law, all which we ask in thy name. Amen.
I pledge myself to honor always the flag of Guyana, and to be loyal to my country, to be obedient to the laws of Guyana, to love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate my energies towards the happiness and prosperity of Guyana.
Please take a seat. Order of the day, confirmation of minutes of statutory dated June 18, 2020. Omissions, insertions, corrections, and matters arising. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7, page 8. Page 8, TC. The 1, 2, 3, the full paragraph in the bottom. The mayor said that it was never recommended, but it was a discussion. He said that since there was a misconception, this is right what this is what
I don't know, sir.
what's a misconception? I can't really say misconception. But it could work. I should say.
What paragraph? What paragraph?
But the fourth and fifth in the bottom.
Fourth paragraph
Page
on the
8.
bottom.
Oh.
Misconception. Well, even if it was a misconception, it has gotta have another word with the recording. So you can add with the misconception. It has the recording.
Noted, sir.
Right? So you can add that. Page 9, page 10, page 11. Page 12.
Yep.
Yes.
So, on the responses to the decision, the third paragraph, Consul Jacobs noted that it was mentioned that the entire 400,000 was not utilized. I actually said that if it was mentioned that if the entire 400,000 was utilized, and then you stopped me.
I didn't get that there.
Okay, so
Noted that
this
it
should
was
be if.
mentioned that if, right?
Yeah, if the entire 400,000.
Okay.
And then you stop.
Thank you.
But you didn't continue onwards?
No, you.
I intervened.
Yeah, and then said what you said before.
Understand. Page 13, page 14, page 15, Councilor Fraser.
It has Councilor Fraser to approximately 2 years ago. It does not have the power
You had a
to
relative.
continue.
You had a relative.
It made reference to
Who had a plan?
Yeah, I had a brother. The relative still alive.
Who had a plan?
Yes. And the second line, which begins with the establishment of the small committee, the plan was approved. And it was not that with the establishment of the small committee, the plan was approved. That's not what I said. I said that with the establishment of the small committee, we were able to uncover a number of plans in the system that go back for years. And we were able to bring that those plans down to months.
Give a minimum.
Yes.
Okay, appreciate it. Councilor,
Noted, sir.
page 15. We'll leave it to the next one. Like each and remember. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. I think I saw something here. How many of these? I'm not looking at the notes. You see, I don't on page, I'm not sure, I think we all would agree, right? If we said, if this was agreed, page 5. Page 5 on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth paragraph where I suggested that the mayor suggested that a public notice be issued on the council's Facebook page, which was agreed. But I know it was done. So it's not like it wasn't done. So but I just thought I had agreed next to it. But it doesn't really matter. It was completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, matters arising in any one of the pages. So that I'm not going to go through each page. If you have anything you would have read and you want to raise, please do.
Chair.
I see Councillor.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Jacob.
Alfonso. Councillor Jacob first, then Councillor Alfonso, then Councillor Hines.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Councillor Officer. This is mostly on page 16, speaking to the single window. Yeah, I recently noticed that the government obviously launched this platform. So I'd just like an update from our end, if we have everything in place, so to encourage the smooth process of this single window, if we can honor,
Right.
if we can honor our end.
Well, we know for sure that the single. Okay, TC, you want to speak there?
Yes, sir. But just to let you.
Just before. Also, I'd like to also encourage some sort of education on this single window for our councillors, seeing that we'll have to answer to our constituents and make them feel
Understand?
Sir, you did not adopt the minutes.
Oh, sorry.
Can I have a mover? Mover of the minutes, Councillor David, seconded by Councillor David. So, Lady David, Mr. David.
Man David, second.
A lot of holy people here today. All right, sorry about that. So, in relation to that, the question, Tom, you want to add anything to the single window matter, or you don't want to speak to it?
Sir, I would rather the engineer respond to that, please.
Engineer, up to the floor. And if you have close, don't give nobody else it. Come close, come.
Mr. Mayor, one other thing. Councillor Jason David wasn't at the meeting. Oh, no, he seconded. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he seconded.
Go ahead, Mr. Venture.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Councillors. The question posed by Councillor Jacobs, whether we are prepared to have this full processing, the answer is no, we're not fully prepared. It was brought to my attention, well, I saw the launching of the single window system in which we did not receive any invitation or invite to that meeting. And then a few days after I
was invited, but I thought he would have invited the top organization.
Well, no, sir, we didn't. Okay. We were in a training early up in the week. In terms of that, we weren't notified that the launch would have been shortly. But going forward, I received a call just about 2 days after indicating that a submission was already made. I'm yet to log into that site and to peruse what is the submission. But we're not fully prepared. We will still need to have our hardware system in place, such as computers being given to the various building inspectors, so that at least we could be able to operate.
You got your own computer?
I have my personal.
Yeah, use your own.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
On board. We didn't cater for that. If you got a computer, talk to our guys on a laptop. At least we'll work with it for now until we make a decision on acquiring computers for person. But for now, work with we have.
Yeah, but the answer is no. We are not fully prepared.
And I also have the other part of the question that the councillor posed, that we need some I myself, they brought me in, I'm in the loop with a number of things, but there's a lot of information to consume one time and to get on top of the situation. I was more than happy with what has been happening and how the matters were being reported. But now it's going to be reported to a process where it has a certain timeline and that you have to deal with it. And if you don't respond within the time, or the engineer or the council, then those plans will be deemed approved. I will inquire based on what Councillor Jacob said to see how we could have some kind of initiation on behalf of the councillors, so the councillors will be aware, you yourself, members of the administration will be aware. I will do my part in relation to that, but TC, I would expect you to write as well. Write to the central housing on this. I wonder, why don't you write to the chairperson? The chairperson. The CEO is a key man. This is a very, remember, this is an operational matter, but it also includes other people. So, what's your suggestion, TC? I think the chairperson of housing, Mr. Cummins, what's this? Or is right to the CEO and CCR, these other people? I don't know. Is that a ministerial thing or suggest council?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I tend to agree with you too that the idea and the new approach, which is described as a single window operation, is something that would require, and I agree with my colleague here, that will require an engagement for councillors so that councillors operating in the constituency will be okay with the system, with the method being applied in relation to, because this thing has been born out of a consultancy that the government had given out for people to study how it can work, and eventually they reach the point where this thing is launched. A lot of the councillors are not a party to the details as to the issues that were discussed. The consultant has made some recommendations, and based on those recommendations, the government has taken initiative and gone and launched. It involved representatives from this council, which include engineers from Clark, who had attended a few of those meetings, and yourself. So I agree with
Councillor Fraser too.
Say my colleague, that since this thing has been launched, I think it would require engagement between those persons who have coined this policy, but in this case, the central housing, and the council, that we can have an engagement so everybody can understand the premise upon which this thing is.
Well, there's a consultant who did the presentation and introduced it into the system. But I would want to believe that minister, this deputy, the junior minister, the chairman.
So we can send it to the CEO and he can direct it to the right person.
And also send it to the chairman of the Central Housing and Planning, which is Mr. Cummins.
Copy it
to him, yeah, as well. And the letter that you send, make sure you send me one, so I will follow up with them. So the earlier you send it to them, I will follow up based on your letter. Jacob, you want to say something else?
Yeah, I'm happy that you said that you're going to stick to the CEO, but the reason why I asked this question is because it's to determine if council will make more monies because of the fast turnover of these plans, or is it an increased price? But heading back to what Mr. Venture said earlier in terms of having the necessary equipment to allow the smooth process. So that is what we need to understand. If we're going to make more money, the best thing to do is invest in it. I'm just saying, that's how we look at it. Invest in it so that we can make sure that we encourage the smooth flow of it. Instead of saying, we don't have the equipment. So everything is a fast turnover.
It's not that I know that even if the engineer in this case seeking for us to acquire, I might then say I want a computer too.
No, we budget for that,
one
sir.
of those things that at least what they do is send the various, you're connected to an email system and whatever they have, and they send different things to you. So it's just a matter for you to open up email and do what you have to do, and to pick up the model. And whenever they have the meetings, you also treat it. So it's not nothing, but the newness of the issue is how they're going to go about it. The speed is what is this single window will be used for. Because a lot of plans now that used to be lagging in the system, ain't gonna be lagging in the system. So the idea about the single window merely is to speed up the process, deal with it, and when we're done with it, then it comes back to us is really for notification and to do what we have to do. If we have any objection to those issues, we object up front. So that's why even last week when I was speaking about the matter of the small committee, I did indicate
That's why I wanted to talk about.
I did indicate that there can be need for us to make some adjustments. But in order for us to make that adjustment, we'll also need to understand what is required. So we'll be working with the central housing. The city is the biggest catchment area for this particular project from a one municipality standpoint. So maybe their first dealing should be with us. So while the town clerk will write after this meeting, I will make that follow up, so we can have that meeting. Maybe I think we're having a city works meeting this week, no? I can remember. I see a joint meeting.
It's a joint meeting. I think it's tomorrow at 10.
They might not be able to put it together by then, but whatever it is, we will want most or all councillors to be very much part of it. It's not gonna be a long session, but at least we will like persons and every council to have an idea, and even if we don't, every person or every council does not have a chance to meet, we'll make sure we video the whole event, so persons can look it over and see what the questions are, and at least we can be able to pick up on what really transpired and what is required of us. So the urgency of getting that meeting based on the point raised by Councillor Jacobs is something that is very urgent to us. So we'll have to check with it. All right. Any other matters arising? Councillor Alfonso.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to seek some clarity on page 7. The third paragraph from the bottom. Talking about the decision to overturn.
On page what?
Page 7.
They said the previous decision was overturned and a new decision taken, as well as to give an effective time.
This seems to.
This is on what?
This is on the market.
Oh,
on the market stall. This seems to imply that council voted and made a decision to
no,
overturn.
I don't think you followed the thing. The thing went all the way to page 9, where we decided that on the vote that we vote for a small committee to listen to the recording of what transpired, because there were conflicting information between what was said by the town clerk and what was said by the deputy mayor, who chairs the meeting, that there wasn't a recommendation.
I understand that. I read it.
So until that, I was gonna ask the town clerk at today's meeting when that meeting is scheduled for, when you're coordinating the small committee.
Sorry, just
the
way this is worded again implies that the decision has been overturned in this meeting. Just a concern.
Technically, what has happened? Technically, what has happened? It's not that it's in abeyance. That's the word. It's in abeyance until we deal with this issue based on the outcome of the tripartite committee meeting, where they have three persons already identified, and the recording is heard, and whatever comes out of it leading to that, there will be a pronouncement on that. So the earlier that meeting is held, we'll be able to clarify.
All right, very good. I just had that concern about whether.
No. It's just held in abeyance at this time.
And finally, I have one more.
Yeah.
On the last page, the second paragraph from the bottom. The
Which page is second, the last page?
No, the last one, page 18.
Yes, page 18.
The container on Akamini Street in section K. Just one inquiring as to whether that was removed or what has been done.
Container of Sheriff Street. Which street is it? Oh, it's in Akamini Street.
Correct.
I didn't get a chance to follow up on it, but but we give clear indication to the engineer to treat with this matter.
Correct. So if I can just get an update.
So, Mr. Engineer, please address, through the town clerk, please address the CC.
So, my councils, I did spoke with the individual who have linked to the container, and they had indicated
Who's
that
those persons?
the person is the owner that is doing the construction of that multi-level building, Dr. Duki.
Oh, Dr. Duki.
And he had indicated that he would have moved that over the weekend. However, I did not check before I come.
You want me to call him now? You have his number. You want to call him now?
I will.
You call him and report back to this council. Because I will pick up the phone and call him right now.
Get you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I want to go back to the point where we were discussing this single window. The last statutory in the ministry, Councillor Fraser and we spoke around it. But the decision, it was not made.
Which page you on?
On the small, we are talking about the small committee issue that you spoke about.
Right.
But when I look this minute, there was not a decision made in relation to the continuation of the
small
committee operation in looking at these plans. Because until such time, when there is clarity and we work out a mechanism whereby the council will be engaged in relation to this single window operation.
That decision will continue.
Well, that's what I needed to hear.
So
we need to still look at that.
In the absence of us getting a proper way forward in relation to government, the small window issue, we will the decision, as we've taken many moons over concerning this small committee, will continue.
Yes.
Until there's a new new arrangement in place, if so be the case.
Okay.
But that arrangement will continue to stand. All right, so that you meet with I think what challenge Mr. Venture is having is the confirmation or a confirmation letter with the man named Mr. Scott. We are saying that he wasn't sure who's the supervisor or whoever. You want to clarify?
No,
I see you shaking your head and so on.
Sir, that was not the challenge that I had. I did explain myself in here. At the last discussion, you did indicate that you will come
I
up
asked
with...
the Tom Clerk to get a letter to him. That's the last thing I said. I don't know if I said it here. I don't even know if it's here. It should be here.
What you indicated, sir, that I did mention at that meeting that the council need to come up with what exactly they are looking for, or what is it that we're looking for within the small committee, create a policy document so it guides the admin. You indicated at that meeting, sir, that you would have come up with something to bring before the City Works Committee, which was scheduled for the next day. You indicated that you were not sure whether you were able to make it.
Oh yes,
that's
okay. Standard operation part will be given to the small committee for guidance. However, decision should be taken operation plans when the single window is operation. But then this needs to continue to state that in the absence of a new arrangement, the small committee will continue, but with the provision of standing operation procedures to guide the committee. That's what we will do. Right. So we'll provide the SOPs, which we will agree to. And remind me, let me keep this. And maybe even by tomorrow, when you meet in at that meeting, I'll see if I have it there. All right, let's proceed. And the earlier TC is as soon as we get to this single window issue and to sort it out, I believe that will solve all the issues. As to if we need it, if we need this or we need that, we need what. Right? Let me. I got some matters here, but I'm still reading. Mr. Diamas, Councillor, could you shed some light on this issue with the Duncan Street and Napo Street along Better Avenue, if any work was done? I didn't get a chance to look, but I see some work happening on the other side, on Section K side. But I'm not sure if any work happening in front of Mr. Chandler. So you could shed some light on that?
No, not as of this afternoon. I could write to the TC or update you myself tomorrow.
Please, write to TC, CC me, and to give a price or something.
Very good.
Right. But I would have passed by, it's called name of the roadway. Anyway, the opposite part of Bel Air Avenue on Section K. That road that running like that, I don't remember the name of the road right now. But the works have been done, is going on at that road. But I couldn't remember looking across to see something happening by Bel Air Avenue, the continuation to Napo Street. But again, you will fill us in on that, right? TC on page 5 at the top. I know in the last meeting, on the first paragraph, we talked about director solid base and that being right now staff in the PR place and all that. And sure now that the budget is put in place, we got to start looking at how we treat this PR consultant person. So that we can have this council can't continue to operate without a PR department. Every ministry in this country got a PR. Any other little business got some whatever. A city without the PR is kind of ridiculous. You know, people is using about this issue. So I'm saying that we ought to have somebody in place, writing, spinning, telling stuff that is in a positive light. There are issues where from a negative light, really, sometimes the media themselves ask a number of questions. They could ask the PR section, or rather than that, everything like that come to me, maybe deputy, even yourself. The PR section should be able to address a number of those issues of the media people want, the citizens want, and simply, like I said last week when we were dealing with the issue of the waste and the bad weather, somebody could have been answering that to let people know that it's not only a challenge that we have, it's a case where the Bosch site, landfill site, has its own challenge as it relates to entering and exiting of the place where it's a dry weather situation. So I believe something prominent must be put in place in relation to that, so that those vehicles don't really suffer the kind of damage that they have to suffer. And our vehicles ourselves have had that challenge outside of the contractors themselves. So that information should be in the public domain long in advance. But I think it was eventually went. Page 5 on that. Let's look at that. Where is it? Okay, yeah. So TC, tell me about this tribal committee. When does meeting hold it? So we could stop have the other item in advance. What time this week? Let me see. This week,
tight week.
Another tight week. And then we got that up to, when is the next Saturday on this day?
8th of July, sir.
Wow. 8th of July. So you gotta get that done. You gotta find a way to see. It can't take forever for the there's a one item.
I know, sir, but we have other meetings scheduled.
This week?
We have meeting for tomorrow.
Yes.
I can't remember for Wednesday. I can check on Wednesday, but we have meeting for Thursday set already. So I can check and
see. We can do something Friday on this. It's just a 3-person come together. Oh yes, Friday is a tight day too.
Yes, sir. It's a no work day.
Ask Clayton why Friday time. See if you get it between now and Thursday, then somehow the other stick it in. I leave it to you.
Sir, I'll try my best.
Right.
Chair, I hear it on Clark, and quite rightly she has her schedule line. But I want to suggest, sir, this is not a big matter.
It's one item.
This is just a thing we got to hear
This is the little
and
recording.
confirm what is said, and that's it. So I'm saying if the three parties agree, it's a matter that can be dealt with any afternoon, maybe.
And the city hall as well.
City hall, right?
The boardroom.
Yeah, and to hear it because it is
See,
something
yeah,
to
take
point
a good
out.
one. In the boardroom, you make arrangements with the staff, one of these young ladies
Sir,
here.
the boardroom is occupied.
What do you got? Then people still use it?
Yes, sir.
Come upstairs by me, ma'am. But me want people say that I am.
You don't just step outside.
No, you got it.
They got a boardroom
Section,
part
yeah,
upstairs.
section there.
They could come upstairs in the boardroom and it could be trashed up. You okay with that, B-Pat? Alright, so you got, was it you, Mr. Hines, B-Pat, and who else, the other person? Ford? Ford. When you want today's work? Wednesday is good? Wednesday is 1 o'clock?
Wednesday at 1.
Wednesday at 1, fine. Wednesday at 1. I'm not gonna be part of it, I just setting up the boardroom. Me want no part of the meeting, okay? As you hear, I bias and that kind of thing. Alright, we proceed.
Sir, one other thing though.
Uh-huh.
When this recording is listened to, my point is there's already a decision of the council.
No, let me hear the recording. If the recording said it was a decision, that's where the problem is. The recording has to suggest, or we call it, the words and the actions, or like I say in law, something that allows for the affecting of legal relations. In this case, you want to be able to show that all that was said led to the decision or led to the recommendation.
Okay, sir.
All right, as long as you prove that, who win-win. It don't bother me. All right, page 10, page 11. I think no matter matters arising, we should proceed to responses to decision of statutory dated.
You got remarks.
Responses to decision of
Remarks
statutory
of the mayor.
Oh, because I know something around here. But TC got a response to decision of statutory meeting. That was the 18th.
Yes, sir.
All right. A few remarks. I think Councilor Saul asked to be excused. I presume he said that to you as well.
Yes, sir.
There's somebody sent me something on about Lemahar Street. That wasn't the man torn up, and then some decision was made. I think the engineer went out there with NDIA to treat with this issue. I'm also hearing that we had a decision of a meeting where I think at one of those meetings, at the last one of the statutory, it was the 10th, where we decided that that we can hire some leading hands. I don't know, you know that, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure if the HR could guide us as to what are we doing about this. Because one of the major challenges we're having is persons supervising these various workers at the various STUSs. And if there's nobody checking on them, then for some reason or the other, they might not turn up. And next thing you hear, you got high tide or dip tide or whatever tide, and then we end up getting flood out. In this instance, this person did not turn up, and then the engineer would have met with the NDIA and had some discussions. I also spoke with Mr. Boston on this matter as well. This is the one, the Lemahar Street Canal sluice, where somebody sent me a picture showing that the place was locked up, and the guy didn't turn up. So before I even proceed further, I would like to hear from Mr. Venture on this matter, because he had some conversation with Mr. Boston. show. TV looking
Mr. Council, yes,
that's all. Alright, 4, I got it. Yes. Sorry, proceed.
yes, sir. Indeed, the Lamahal Street pump, the sluice location, the person did not turn up to work there. In fact, it was reported that he did not work over the weekend, and also he did not work today. I would have asked Mr. Boston to give me a comprehensive report, but there were also additional reports of persons leaving the location last evening and did not other locations. So I asked for a comprehensive report from Mr. Boston. Unfortunately, he reported sick today. But I did communicate with the chairman for NDIA, Mr. Wordsworth, and we agreed that we're going to have somebody, they're going to supply somebody to operate that pump in the absence of our employee.
In the absence, but Tristan or Charlotte, we must still have the responsibility for this person.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whatever we have to do, even if we have additional support from NDIA, it's our responsibility to maintain and to have a presence from the Mayor City Council.
That we haven't negated.
That's non-negotiable.
We haven't negated from that.
Yes. Okay. And all right, TC, can I hear from the HR on the issue concerning what plans we have for these leading hands?
Good afternoon, Your Worship and Councillors. I'm not so sure what is the question being asked.
Oh, the question is, in the last statutory of June the 10th,
yes, sir.
There was a decision or a recommendation that we, based on the committee meeting of the HR, that we employ, because we had one last leading hand we had retired. We had Mr. Garvey, who died a few years ago. He was one of those kind of persons who checked around us to give supervisory oversight over these various sluices. And now we are out of all supervisory persons. So I think that recommendation was made at the level of the Human Resource Committee, and it came to the council. It was also recommended, based on the recommendation we approved, that we must source these 2 or 3 persons. I know that came out the last meeting. I'm asking a bit too much to figure out how we're going to proceed, but I would like you to give this particular matter some amount of urgent look into, so that we could get this out and have persons in place, even if it's from within. Other persons who apply from within could get raised up. I don't know, but the fact remains that we need to have supervisory oversight over these various sluices. So we want to address that as a matter of urgency.
Yes, sir. I do agree with you. As a council, this is something of significance that you need to address urgently. However, we have a bigger issue, and I do not believe that this council is addressing it. And though it may be coming up from time to time in different, I would say, facets, but not in its entirety. The issue, sir, is we do not have a local government commission in situ. And as a result of that, appointments, whether it's active appointments, whether substantive appointments, those things are all held in abeyance, they're on hold. Nothing really is happening. And I think, at the level of the council, you need to really pursue the higher authorities to ensure that that commission is set up. Because the thing is, the committee did make its recommendation that was ratified by council, but the correspondence is at the local government. We have to get approval to advertise. We have to get approval to employ. And so these things are all.
So if the local government commission level become in situ, then what happens? The whole country shut down, all the MPs shut down, all the towns shut down. I said to this before, that the law provides for us to and I think it's right there on the section 180, 190, or whatever, 120, that we could go ahead, do what we have to do, but we send whatever we have to do for notification or for ratification. The council does not stop. It's always in perpetual succession. And regardless of some local government commission, which is an external body to the council, we still have to do our work. So we're saying here in this instance that we want to treat with this issue, and we send whatever information to them. Whenever they become people, they deal with the issue. But for now, we want to look at it and to treat with these issues and to make those decisions as a body, which if we make that decision as a body, as an executive, this council is an executive who makes decisions on behalf of its regulated business.
Sir, respectfully, with all due respect to you and the office you hold, and that of this council, I wish to openly state that I do not share your view on section 118. My perspective of it, my interpretation of it is completely different from yours, sir. And notwithstanding that, again, it is not just the local government commission, it is the local government commission, and I'm referring here simply to its legal authority, sir. And
legal authority.
Yes, and I would humbly suggest that the council seek legal advice on the way forward before it implements or suggests anything that's different from what is currently standing as law. And I think that's where you should go. You should seek legal advice as to whether you can make such decisions and ratify your own recommendations.
I'm guided by you on
yes, sir.
legal advice, and I
like
the idea proffered by you in relation to this. So, but it does not. So what we're saying here,
yes, sir,
or my understanding, and we want to get our work done, is that we want to move forward with treating with certain issues.
Agree.
So, in order for us to treat with those issues, based on the law that we have before us, it says this or says that. So we need to seek legal advice from our attorney to figure out if we can proceed in such a direction.
That's the way to go. So
right,
once we have that, then we better guide it.
Fine. So then, for the council, I think you've been listening to the discussion that we've been having together here. Are you in agreement with us seeking legal advice on this so that we can proceed with any decision of moving to appoint or to employ staff to treat with our matters? Those in favor of that, please do by the show.
Get some legal advice, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Worship.
All right. Those against, it doesn't seem to have much against, those in after, so the decision was carried.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. But meanwhile, I'm going to read this law and we give you one into. Let the lawyer say what it does, right? Good. Next item.
Chair, I want to make a comment on this issue. I want to comment on this matter to say why we agree for the legal advice on this matter in relation to the current kind of situation, which is.
Why you want to go back on this?
No, I'm not going back on the matter. I am seeking to have. We should still let the local government operating administrator who exists here know the dilemma that exists right now.
To send,
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Put them on notice
Our colleagues, we should do that while we get the legal advice.
No, I'm going to do it from another angle.
Well, you can.
Here's what I'm going to do. I hear that we move into this legal thing and do what we got to do. But I'm going to write. I'm going to write His Excellency on this one.
Beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's better.
To deal with,
That's even better.
I will do that. So I will take the responsibility of this council to write to His Excellency.
Thank you.
Dealing with this issue as fitting with this matter that is not people and the dilemma that we suffer based on this. So I will write to His Excellency on this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Good. Let's settle that issue. We have here that I think TC. I know it came up in our some part of the minutes where we said we talked to GT&T and we were setting up a meeting which was eventually we ended up meeting with them. I think last week.
Last week.
Right.
Wednesday.
And now we had a good meeting based on that, and they're supposed to meet back with based on the outcome of that thing. They're supposed to meet with the IT section and treasurer and whoever else to see how they can look at the system and to come up with a solution. So I think that is moving fine. So I thought I raise it here, even though it will come up at the next start in July. I wanted to brief the council that meeting actually happened and that GT&T is committed to being of help to us and trying to find ways as to how we could fix our software issues and our glitches, especially when they are very much part of the process of being a part of our MMG, which is the MMG is something to do with mobile wallet and paying of taxes. So they already are part of our system, bringing them a little bit forward to be able to find those other solutions so that we can get those accurate amounts and that eventually we'll be able to send out those various demands to the people based on those amounts. So they're committed to doing it, and I believe sometime next week. TC, I'm not sure if your assistant doctor or whoever was here guided you on that. Did they?
Sir, because the time was limited, so we were focusing on statutory meetings, so we didn't get to discuss.
Who was the person who was here? It was Carolyn.
Carolyn.
All right. Okay, so Carolyn will bring you. So I thought I raised that, and the other aspect is garbage. Where East La Penitence, West La Penitence, all the commercial areas, and a whole host of persons have been bombarded my telephone, and maybe others, and speaking about this issue of lack of clearance. I've had conversation with Mr. Narain on this matter, and he's kind of guided me as to what is really happening and also give commitments as to which areas were being treated with. I will ask him to speak to this as we proceed with this meeting. So I'll ask him to speak to this just now, TC, through you. And also, if we could also look at some kind of a situation with those areas that are left behind. If is it that we add another one of the persons just to do those backup jobs, because we have in a situation where we backed up 2 to 3 weeks. So I would like to hear a solution from Mr. Narain on this issue and how we could treat with it and how we could deal with this issue. We know we got cricket this week. Some the semi-finals, even though West Indies get knocked out. West Indies going to be playing here this weekend. It comes to the Day Cup. No. It will be India who, if based on
England.
Oh,
England.
It will be in England. It's going to be West Indies would have never met it. Going to be here, and South Africa playing going to be playing somebody else. Okay, somebody else. Okay, so we have cricket this week sometime on Thursday, and I think we will need to have the city in a ready position. In a position that is sightly, not unsightly. So I would like to hear from QUTC, the goodly guy at the back. Mr. Narain? No, right now. We are docking?
Next week?
No. So far.
Everybody thinks.
Let me hear from you, just.
Mr. Chairman, Councillors, good afternoon.
You got flu or something? You
Yes,
got
sir.
next to the top, right?
Everybody. All right, so, sir, from the last statutory, which is now, some progress was made with the contractors into ourselves. Trucks are still running. I know the contractor, one of the most affected area, the contractors.
Which contractor is this contract?
You had Sandip. For example, Sandip, he had a lot of work left back in Campbellfield, Prashad Nagar area. He completed his work on Sunday. Right? GWS, Gambia Solution, has 5 constituencies. He did a lot of work in the commercial area and another constituency, but we still have about 3 constituencies that.
But for 3 weeks, people tell me they didn't get it.
Garbage.
I had to send them that public notice.
Yeah.
Just to let it come off of me a little bit.
So I spoke to the contractor, and he would have given me all assurance that he would work night and day, right, beginning from today, to bring some amount of relief to these areas, affected areas that we have. We are.
What's the real problem they have?
Trucks, human resources, right? Coupled with the landfill.
Okay.
Right, so that's one of the areas that they.
So,
he has 2 trucks
so
out.
GWS is saying that they will regularize this thing by when?
Well, it starts from this evening. They're going to work.
Yeah, but remember it's 3 weeks backlog of things. You think that maybe we should just try and help him in some way, or with another person who has lesser work, or something like that? I'm not sure if that is a possible way of just resolving it for short term while we look at the long term scenario.
For that to be done, sir, you'll have to call, to be fair to the contractor, you'll have to call them in, engage them.
Nambi, you got to do it.
And see that. I think we did that already with Sandip, when Sandip was having trouble. Council lines, remember that? We suspended Sandip for 1 month, and we did the work.
What we're saying here is just that merely we try to find a way to help, to bring the thing under control, and then when we bring it under control, then we continue onwards as a normal thing. But when we have 2 to 3 weeks back up, people need to understand this is not a council problem. We hire people, we contract people to do this job. We spend $300, $400, $500 million to deal with our contractors every year, and what the blame always coming to the councillors and council and administration. When the fact remains, we pay handsomely to get this job done, and the fingers obviously shouldn't be pointing to us. It should be pointing somewhere else. But we don't want to get into any subjective issue with any particular person. So what we're trying to achieve here is one that we could bring the thing back to normal. And if you have a frank and open discussion with that person, and we could find a solution to it, and he is in agreement with it, I'm sure we could do it. But you will have to guide him as to why it needs to be done, especially when we're having international matches and other kind of persons here over the next few days, and we need to fix that challenge. All right, so TC, I'm not, before I hear you from the TC, let me hear from Councillor Hines.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I hear, no, I hear, hear the solid. No, this is not beat up. Our truth, in the past, we had to provide some assistance by way of counsel to the contractor, Sandeep, and Mr. Narayan is right in that regard. But in this instance, the situation has become a little bit more complex because of what exists, which he didn't say, at the Higgs Wash site. When we engaged the contractors here recently, all of them complained about the difficulties that they are experiencing at Higgs Wash. As a result of this complaint, we are seeking to have a meeting with the ministry, who is the agency that has contracted these people to manage the Higgs Wash site. And through that engagement, we should be able to address what exists. But now, what I want to hear from Mr. Narayan is whether he, yes, a no solution. I want to hear from him if in his view, and now that he has in this solid waste collection program, whether he has, is there anyone who can provide us with that assistance that you refer to right now, so that those complaints that emanate in the commercial areas and other areas in West Rumbel, I think it is, East and West Rumbel, I see some complaints coming to my phone, whether there's anything which I would like to hear from you, recommend to council who we can engage. But of course, we have to talk to the contractor that we have contracted for the particular area, so that we can have him understand the premise upon which the intervention of council is coming in that respect. That's what I would like to hear.
What will happen in that instance, if we even move in that direction, is that whatever proceeds that should have gone to him or that contractor will go towards the new person that is filling the gap for him in this interim. And that at some point, he will continue in the forward weeks or whatever it may be. But the reality is that we got to get the situation under control. So let me hear from you again, and let me try to finalize this thing, and then we probably ask you to be able to go between the council and the contractor to treat with this issue.
Yes, so as you rightly said, East, West Rumbel, Northeast, East of Penningtons, Middle Road, Castle Housing Scheme, those are heavily affected areas. right? The contractor gave us all assurance, gave me all assurance that from this evening he's worked 2 nights and day. I think we should be fair. He gave a commitment. Let us give him some time, right? And if within that
How many time we talking about?
give him until the weekend. We can finish.
They pull it off?
Right, and if he doesn't, then we have to sit down and bring in somebody else temporarily.
So Jacob, what's your view on that? Why are you view?
I really don't have a view on this matter. I think Mr. Councilor Hines being the committee head, the chairperson, should share his views. I really don't have anything.
You don't have no view on this?
No.
I asked you, nobody asked you.
No.
Anyway, in good faith, we shall proceed with the recommendation you make, but you will be the go-between or the interlocutor between the council and this gentleman to find a solution to this. And even if you and your department have additional trucks, see what you can do to help this brother. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Brother. All right. TC, the only other thing is I got something that I might have missed, but I ain't able to stress out on that right now. We have Council Keisha Sortimer, Troy Garraway, Council Ellis, and Council Adams. I'd like to at least, Jafar Mohammed, I would like to give an excuse on their behalf. TC, I defer to you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I received excuses from Councillor Chase Green. She has an emergency and is at the hospital. I got an excuse from Councillor Saul and Councillor Ashby. Councillor Caesar is here.
You ready of it? Sorry now.
Yeah, sir, beginning on July 15th, the City Constabulary will be celebrating their 187th year. As
here, she's more and less. How much is which is the right one?
Unfortunately, I wasn't born this year. 187. But sir, a calendar was submitted with a few activities to celebrate this occasion. And a budget was also submitted of $350,000 for approval by the council. There's usually a church service and they would feed some children, they would have a walk, normal things. It's every year that they do basically the same to break away from that.
That's a church thing at Soul Food and stuff.
Carmel Seventh-day Adventist Church. So they're asking for the approval of the $350,000 to go towards that activity.
You said it's kind of budget?
Yes, sir. That's why I was telling you the same thing, sir.
Now, me was different. I know budget. This is an executive decision. Okay. Let me deal with in this case, the Senate budget. Okay. $350,000. You got a copy of the budget?
Yes, sir.
Councillors, $350,000 approval for the constabulary.
Yeah.
Those in favor?
What we gotta get? What are they gonna do this morning?
Doesn't seem that we have any objection or
I can share it with you.
I have no objection.
no objection.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
You have a question on this?
Yeah.
So
It's not an objection. Come. I'm just.
I need to know.
I know that we budgeted in the budget. I'm just curious as to what line item that's going to go under. That's all. I have no objection. I'd like to know that this forms part of the budgeted amounts that we budgeted. That's all. As long as the budget is for zero.
Social development thing, we have some funds leave for that. Explain to our councillors that
was the budget. Oh, I think I got the budget. Cool. It's right at the side. Now check.
CC.
Sir, unfortunately, I don't have a copy of the budget in front of me at this time to say exactly where it can come out from. But
Anybody who got knowledge about this?
It was approved for? Sir, according to what? Okay. I'm being advised, sir, that by the chief constable that it was budgeted for. Otherwise, it can come out of civic reception. There's a civic reception line there that we can use.
Me, right? You see why it's always make sure that I keep these things council on. It's always got a little thing there, you know? So, yeah. So, TC, cover that.
So,
alright, so those in favor? Alright, you know the man had a question, we have to fix it. Alright, any against? No. No abstention.
Yeah.
Oh, Councilor Jacob abstain. Thank you. Alright, let's proceed.
yes, sir. One other. I received a letter from how you described it, sir, the Twin Tower. They're asking for the removal of vendors around their property.
Wow.
ITEL. Yes. ITEL.
Opposite the bank.
Yeah, opposite the bank. They say that the numbers are increasing. And while they understand the importance of supporting local entrepreneurs and small businesses, the presence of these vendors is causing significant disruptions to their operation and negatively impacting their clients' experience. So they're asking for us to have the area cleared. There isn't a time frame. It's a call center.
Mr. Mayor, again, unless we call the businessmen, and I think it's the 4th or 5th or 6th, how many times I'm saying this, unless we call the businessmen, every businessman in the city will request that we remove all the vendors. Or we do that, or they will take us to court. Unless we have an arrangement with them, we would end up in court, or we are going to be forced. We do not have the manpower to manage this arrangement. We do not have the resources to remove all the vendors. And when they return, what happens? They will not stay off. Then you're not there, they will go back there. What happens? We have to have an arrangement, we have to have an understanding. And again, at this meeting, that we take a decision that we use some format to invite the business to come in and talk to us. Let them tell us what they do.
I'm in agreement. How many other persons here, councillors, are in agreement so that we can have that kind of dialogue? So that we can then have fine. So we have full agreement, TC, based on the councils around here that we meet with all our most, invite everyone in the business portion.
Separated.
You have to separate it.
It's small fractions.
It's the Chamber of Commerce or the private sector, so we can have a wide discussion at this point.
Would you need specific? Huh? Wouldn't you need to discuss specific arrangements?
Well, we want to have an vending.
Correct, but
if we have the private sector and the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce invited to speak on this issue, maybe if we talk to them, they can then talk to their constituents. What do you think?
Not everybody. Listen here. Not all businesses are part of the private sector. So what you can do is do it in small fractions. So you start off really street small, and then finish it instead of having everybody together.
Right.
So do it in small.
So how, explain how we do it, because I trying to figure it out. Yes, start from commercial.
You can start from upper.
Yeah, go ahead.
The least way. Councillors and officers, start from the least part of the most congestion and coming down. You can start from the congestion.
Who right you talk right to these people?
Yeah.
Many of these persons who actually be using these places are not necessarily owners of the place. No. The owners is different from the people who use them. So how do we deal with that? Yeah, the owners is the partner, so we got TC guide us here. What do you think we can do? We will be meeting with them. There's no doubt. But as Councillor said, we do small pockets, and then we meet, or based on the highest congested area, we operate using those portions. Just how Councillor phrase.
Sir, let's hear from the councillors.
Councillor Copeland.
Yes, sure, just want to be clear, we need to make arrangements or for consultation?
Consultation as to what is where to go now with this matter. and how we could be able to find a solution or whatever around it. With the intention of how we can move, how we can move, or whatever we do. But we need, but if everybody, somebody get us and tell us something, you know, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah. The reason I ask because when dealing with this particular matter, you have to look at all the stakeholders. So if we meet with business owners, to consult with them on the challenges they are facing. At the same time, I know we have to continue that effort when it comes to dealing with these vendors. And then we, of course, will then come up with a finance.
Yeah.
I just want to
Also the phrase.
I think it's also cool. No, I want to capture what I would want to put forward to you. Sir, my approach might not be that different. One is that we are a regional street. There are vendors there are business places in regional street from Avenue Republic to King Street or from Avenue Republic to Alexander Street. We can target that portion, send them one letter, all of them. Ask them to reach us at one particular point and discuss with them. Look, we have a problem with these vendors. You have a problem with these vendors. We can't wish them away and we don't have the resources to keep them off the road. So you must tell us how we can together manage them. And they will come to Here might one, not all of them, not all of the business people want to know that the vendors are wrong because some of the business people, the vendors are selling their thing in front of the store. Some of them might just want their participate to be cleared. They might want different things that we can offer, we can arrange it and put structure in place and make it happen.
So you're talking about a lot of meetings then?
Because we're going to do it, or we're going to be in court a lot of times. Or we're going to be in court a lot of times. We have to choose where we want to be.
By the time we get to this point, they're going to still have other people there sending stuff to us. So I try to see how we could have a fastest solution to meetings as much persons as possible. Hold up, before I see you.
Central
You see, while we're talking with the business owners, we should also engage the private sector and the Georgetown Chamber to see what other members they have, so that we could kill two birds with one stone. I think that's a way of doing something, and see what other members they have, and then if we could do walkabouts and that kind of thing. It. Let me hear another view from Mr. Tyler first.
May I feel the problem that we have in these vendors? It's not so complicated. If you just enforce certain things that are put in place, it was basic. You come out in the morning, you have to pallet space. You vent. In the evening, you pack up and you leave. Because we find is that these guys are given the two pallet space and then they don't do money. Some of them their business are more bigger than the people they're buying from. You understand? I think that's where your problem lies. So when we approach those business people, that's what we have to approach them in.
Yes, when I listen to the worship, I'm hearing more just a bandit situation. Look at all the stakeholders, look at building. Can we not try to create, let's just say, a time period, make it like a campaign or something where we look at engaging all those stakeholders, the business, private sector, vendor, even pedestrians who are in the world. I think we could try to make this, because we this year, that year, in small patches, and then get it back to different areas. If we put on public, the various comes to a particular campaign to consult all the stakeholders, the people, vendors and fast and so on, for a particular period of time, right, to start all this particular issue. I believe if you put it out there, when you come in the interim to say, look, we want to do it would look like, try to cut in a particular process where you start. I think people in that particular way, they allow the markets to people to look at the stages forward, have a time, and say, let's say 6 months where I think that would be best.
Thanks.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I want to just add, it is a very complex issue. My input on this matter, or my little 2 cents, if I want to call it that, is that I would agree to engage the private sector and the business community on this matter. But my colleague here idea of taking it by groups in Regent Street, Rob Street, whatever, in Commerce Street, whichever, will require a lot of engagement. The only way this thing can be done, in my view, is that first of all, you got to map there and then say from X to Y, you're going to meet the business people in this block. From that date to that date, you're going to be meeting the business people in the next block. But it's going to be a long process. But the situation would not be solved immediately. It would not be solved immediately because, like you will observe, when you address that one, you fix this one, you're going to find people going back, and it's going to be a situation that is cycled. So to say that, well, this single approach will be the solution, it may not be, but it's worth giving a try.
I want to hear another view. Come back to you, Councillor Baker.
Yeah, thank you. We have to understand what is the point of this. And in my interpretation, I think the point of this is to bring some sort of ease and to not to have all of these letters coming and so forth. So if you do it in a group formation, right, nothing is wrong with it. You're putting out the proposal to them. And I think Councillor Garvey, a few meetings ago, mentioned that some of the persons outside of these businesses are actually selling items from the businesses. So the reason for the meeting is to understand what the business wants and see how you can work around it. In the meanwhile, you come up with your whole plan. So it's just a medium in group, so you bring some sort of ease to the situation and then fix it from there. That was my understanding and interpretation from what that is.
All right. Go ahead.
Yes. What I agree with Councillor Jacobs' idea, I believe that should be a part of the phase of the intent. Because I want to say run away from the fact of just going out and say, let's start with these persons and groups out of a holistic plan of what we're trying to do. Because what I've seen since the start of this council is just doing things on one off, two off, three off, then we end up with the same thing. So I agree with the suggestion. But then be, for example, a phase one of that particular situation by meeting businesses and so on in groups towards solving issues. Some issues can be solved individually, like things that we can solve in the meantime while we put in the same plan. But I think there's something we should launch. The country should launch it.
No, I understand we have to do a campaign. There's no doubt about that. What I'm trying to, or believe we want to achieve, is the fastest way to be able to get to meeting with these people and the most effective way too. Because by the time you sit with this street, this other street still doing something, and this other one still bringing something to you, and the one is one more, so on. So I try to see how I can get a collision of it as fast as possible. And so why I mentioned the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and the Private Sector Commission, they have members. A lot of those persons are part of the Regent and the Rob Street and the business center. So I believe that we ought to reach with them, but while we reach with them, we also reach directly with those various businesses there. So, but you don't want to say, well, I'll hold this particular street and then two people come. You want to see if you're doing a set of blocks or the blocks running across maybe from Charlotte Street or even going up, well, not necessarily South Road. If you get it, the blocks running up, you want to say something? Just you went from Charlotte to Regent to Rob and maybe up to North Road, running between King and Wellington, and then you got the other one thing, and then you keep on doing. But you also have those places by the market, in your boosters and all them places. There's a lot of people that have particular challenges. So, I did something like this before in the previous council where we invited the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and the Private Sector Commission. But what we also did is we did walk around. We went to reach the people and reach these various businesses directly. So you have these various blocks, and we want to meet them rather than we set up a meeting for them to meet us. we went to meet them with the Chambers of Commerce and the various places. So that's something I'm saying. It did work to some extent, but it also is a direct approach to dealing with it rather than having the formal approach of having some meeting to discuss certain things. So maybe with the support of the Georgetown Chamber and the Private Sector Commission and others, we could do that, have that direct approach to dealing with it, which is something we will think about. Deputy.
The Russian consulate. Well, I would agree with what you said just now relative to the Chamber of Commerce and the Private Sector Commission. Over 3-day period or 2-day period of Pacific time. Business owners within the central Georgetown, I think you'll have to find it that way. We're willing to meet with you between this time, within this 3-day period at a certain time, because on the ground, it's walking. Right. On the ground may be more effective because the business people, you won't have the time for our meeting, right. And let us see, being able to understand their challenges, their vendors are concerned. While some is affected more than some, you have some areas where it's dense with vendors and some you have sporadic vending all over. So I would want to suggest, as you rightly said, with the help of the private sector, we give a 2-day period of here,
from this time
to this time, to say or to get an idea what is affecting you based on what is happening outside your premises and your business. So you can talk with us, not to have to sit down with you in a fight. Some may be willing to come.
Let people come.
They may be willing to come, but they may have challenges in terms of their business and whatever their business.
All right, so TC, based on the various discussions and things proffered by various councillors, the idea is that even if it was to come and meet you or we're going to meet them, the idea is we must meet them. And this is a joint approach. So we're going to write to the Georgetown Chambers, the private sector, and we will also write a basic note, a campaign note, as my colleagues said here, a note saying that we will be visiting. And that this is not a visit with the Georgetown Chambers and the private sector. It's Georgetown Chamber, private sector, councillors, officers, and people taking notes. So we write in all the concerns, we may list in all of them, and then we will come back to the table as to how we will be able to treat with these issues. But we will get their buy-in from this, and we will get their them to be very much part of it, which will be a direct approach to deal with this. So you write to the Georgetown Chamber, the private sector, let them know. They don't have all of them come to send representatives. And we will have representatives from the council as well as the administration to deal with this. We'll have a 3-day, some afternoons more than likely, maybe at one time. Something in the afternoon from this time to this time. We assemble at whatever point and we move. And we do a 3-day period, and I'm sure we'll be able to bring some real solution to this situation. All right, TC?
Noted, sir.
Well, as you raise the issue, right? Then I mean, so go ahead. I think you had something.
Sir,
oh, the matter concerning Rizwan is
Rizwan Khan.
Right. Matter concerning Rizwan. Let Mr. Rizwan know that this is one. We've had a discussion at the council. He called me too, and he sent me the same thing you said. We had a discussion at council, and we'll be approaching the treating of this matter. He will be one of those persons that we will visit to establish what is happening with him, and based on a number of back and forth consultation and so on and so forth, we'll come up with some recommendation. But in the meantime, what if he's asking for? We're asking for him to hold it in abeyance. All right. All right, TC, next item, so we can rock and roll.
Sir,
I tried to say you want to go on.
Of course. Finally, I received excuse from Councillor Adams. Thank you, sir.
All right, so I proceed. Responses to the decision of statutory meeting dated Tuesday, June 18th. I see it's a change the page here. What was the date?
Sir, it's decision 386.
cleaning market.
Yeah, it was incorrectly recorded.
Okay, cleaning market. The council agreed that all the cleaning of the city council shall fall under the solid waste department. I agree with you here.
No, sir, that was the council.
Solid waste, which is the right one, man.
The single sheet, sir.
105, try to send me this thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're changing 386. Well, we're correcting 386 rather.
Oh. Right, which says what? What's the real one?
For the cleaning of the market to fall under solid waste.
Oh, not under the Florida market?
No, sir.
Okay, so the correct one is in here?
Yes, sir.
I got it correct one. Okay, good. Okay, 1052, 1053. Councilor Jacob, you got something there?
Yeah, 1053, decision 388. I'd just like some clarity if this decision will stand.
Yes. Let me tell you. Go ahead.
Because if this decision stand and we elevate that person, is that person entitled to an acting allowance? And if the local government commission,
let me tell you what happened recently, or what happened in this case.
Mr. Mayor, allow me to
Okay,
go ahead.
I just wanted to clear up the issue.
Go ahead.
Which is consistent with what I asked earlier, even if we employ. In this case, this person working within the system, whoever. What has happened is that even though we would have asked the town clerk or advised the town clerk to write to the local government commission, speaking to this matter, and we also suggested to the town clerk too, that her letter will suffice for the person to act. The town clerk would have sent information to the local government commission, even though it's not people, about this matter for notification. But the local government commission, through Mr. Price, sent us back a letter confirming this. So the person, based on Mr. Price, has been appointed by the commission. So I'm not gonna row with that. I'll leave it. There got times when you can leave it and sometimes you might not. But in this case, if you send back a letter confirming this, we leave it. So that there's a letter appointing acting building inspector Scott to the position. Okay, does that clear up anything for you?
No, it's very clear to me, but I just want you to understand the decision that we're making now. So if in the case that the local government commissioner, when it's people, and they disagree with this appointment, I don't know who will pay the
Well, in the meantime, the man will be paid, because we already have a letter from them, speaking of it.
No problem.
All right. The town clerk could answer you the man, she could, you better call her directly and she will tell you that. I know. I skip up. Any other item on 1053? Or 1054, 1055?
Sorry, if we can, Mr. Mayor, if we can recommit to 1053.
Wait, is it taking a little nap there? Or?
No. Actually, never mind. It's okay.
What happened? You want it anymore?
No, it's not.
No, sorry about it, but Mr. Mayor,
yes.
This decision on 3921 about the council is to buy these dump trucks.
Quotations obtained for dump truck.
Do we have the funds to purchase and also these monitors. Just confirm.
I'm not the treasurer, but you can answer that.
Okay. And then also 389. So Mr. Patterson agreed to pay for the report. How much? What's the amount?
What's that? TC out of it.
I think it was 125,000
Yeah.
or 120,000.
This amount.
Now the words.
Yes. That means 1054. You know what the beauty about this one? The same quantity. Very report. I don't want to say by 1054. Beauty by it. 1054. 1055. 1056. 1057. Rashid. You know, something. Tell us a bit more about this. I didn't get a chance to treat it. I know this was a recommendation. But this comes to the this matter coming up again in some human resource thing.
No, sir.
Because last week when I was out of the country, this wasn't discussed.
Yes, and it was a decision for it to go to the HR committee. But the report went to the legal affairs committee and it was discussed there. So when it came back on the HR committee report, we asked for it to, we asked that we not look at it since it was already discussed at another committee.
And that comes up at the full council next month. So then it was discussed at legal affairs. And the recommendation whatever was made, you will look at that then, right?
Yes, sir.
But last week when it came to HR, you guys deferred it, right, Madam Deputy?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Okay. All right. So based on this 407 thing, this recommendation, a lot has to come out of the consultation and the thing with the GT&T in order for us to treat this. For us to move forward with this, we gotta get our software together, right, TC? 407.
Oh, the yes, sir.
Right? Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Yes. You want to say
But
something?
yeah, with this, just do we have a deadline?
No, I can't put a deadline to it because, and I would advise that you must make yourself available to this meeting whenever. No. You should make yourself available to the meeting before. But the administration, which I did through the IT and the treasurer department, will be meeting with the GT&T people and the software people on whichever day we agree. Thursday at what time?
Thursday of this week.
It's at 10 o'clock or whatever it is. So had you been present at that meeting, you would have heard their presentation. Oh, what we did agree on is that based on their prognosis of the matter of the whole computer scenario and the treasure thing and the glitches and so on and so forth, they will make a presentation to the full council on a fancy screen as well, their PowerPoint and so on, talking about. So everybody will be apprised of what's going on and the direction that we would take. That was the final recommendation on that. Okay? Yeah. So, full disclosure. 1058.
Oh, listen, I don't want to be the one of the second Mr. Hanks.
What's up, Mr. Summary. He's Mr. Summary. I don't know you as Mr. Summary.
No, but I just want us to make sure that we pay attention to this agenda and all other agendas to the mere fact that because of the decision that was made to put back people in stuff. Right. So at 408, right? Somehow this recommendation, the council approved the project and agreed that the project not to be done during working hours. At the last meeting,
not to be done during working hours.
Yes, because at the last meeting, I remembered council agreeing, suggesting that it should be done there within
From 4.
from 4.
Yeah,
What I think was understood is that work, you're right in something. The council approved the project and agreed that the project not to be done. No, you could do certain aspects of it, but anything above 12 o'clock going forward is going to be do the honorarium from. So it doesn't preclude anything happening during the course of the day. You understand what I'm saying? Because these people are working for us anyhow. If you understand what I'm saying. So that's what Madam Chase Green said. People are working for anyhow, so we should be paying them while they're working for me. But anything above the time to 7 o'clock, there's going to be under them really truly from. So TC got to restructure this in some way to reflect. I don't know how you are worded. So tell us it before we proceed. Because they will be doing things during the course of the day based on requests of the treasurer and so on and so forth. But we are allowing them, they're part of a team that work until 7 o'clock. So we're paying them for the after hours that they will be working for. But during the day, if they have to go and do something, they will go and do it because they are part of that team working to sort out that information. So, Council TC, sum up for me.
No, what they're saying is that they can do it during workouts, but it's the honorarium part that they were really talking about. The honorarium part, they start
So they can do work during the working hours, but they are merely paying an honorarium for work after 4:30 to 7. We can agree to that. We ain't setting it right now in stone, but we can agree to it.
Well, we gotta be straight. Mr. Chair, I understand the rewarding, but we paying an honorarium to the people when they do the work. But we need to fix what that honorarium.
No, we can do that, man. There is nothing. Okay. We can do that. It's big approve it.
Yeah, I know.
We could give them 10 cents an hour if you feel like it. No, but we gotta do it, but we're not gonna be ridiculous. We'll be reasonable.
It goes to finance.
We'll hear from Councilor Fraser. No, before you go, Fraser, is that another issue or the same issue? Okay. Because I want to hear the top clerk's rewarding of the issue.
Mr. Mayor,
yeah.
We have set precedents, and I don't believe that we should rise this without the people knowing what exactly they're working for when they go beyond the normal working hours. And so probably the town clerk or the treasurer can tell us what we did in the last season, how we treated in the last season, and propose something to us before we leave so that this is something urgently needed.
Why don't we want to walk through? No, hold stop. We dealt with a matter like this on the markets and with it last year when we were dealing with people got marked, street and all that. We didn't decide the amount. We arranged for an amount and we settled it. We're not unreasonable people. So let the people start doing the work. Let me start understanding what's required. The department will provide us with information as to within reasonableness what is whatever. We'll get it. Me, you can't estimate it right now, but we don't even know why not. No, they won't even start properly yet. So let them come back to us with something. TC, please reward this thing so we can proceed.
All right, so my understanding is that they can, well, this was a recommendation coming from the Finance Committee. However, at the last statutory meeting, the discussion was surrounding not necessarily that they can't work during the day on the project. They can work during the day on the project, but the payment of the honorarium is for the additional hours after work.
Right. So you'll structure that and refrain and fix that in order for us to look at it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good. Thanks, Councillor, for the observation because these kind of things 10th of virtual sometime. 409. At 1059. Utility prevention. All right, we move to reception of departmental reports. Report of the Human Resource Management Department for May 2024. We'll ask Madam HR to give us a synopsis of the report so we can proceed onwards. A brief one, right now.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Your Worship and Councillors. For the month of May, we worked with the same strength, which is 6 persons in the department. And leave for the year, for the period, was just for sick leave, but there was no vacation leave or other leave for persons within the department. We've had, around the council, we've had 3 retirements and 3 persons who would have forfeited employment, and leave records for the entire council would have indicated that 41 employees would have proceeded on their vacation leave for that period. Our salary and wages bill for the month was $109,689,125. And that was inclusive of $6 million worth in overtime.
6 million?
6 what? 6 million. 6 million. 6,369,000. To be specific, $509 in overtime. The drainage section and the solid waste department. Those are the 2 departments with drainage section, which falls under the engineers department, and the solid waste management department. Those are the 2 departments that continue to bring in high amounts of overtime. The other departments don't really work overtime. And if they do, it's very insignificant amounts. For the drainage section, this is because we have men at the waterfronts who are pulling 2 shifts. Some of them shifts are 12 hours. They're pulling 12 hours because of shortages of that in that unit. And the urgency, May, June, of course, you know, that's the rainy season, and to ensure that we have enough men deployed to ensure that the wheels are turning. When it comes to the solid waste management, I am still though I've attempted to analyze it, sir, I am still unable to effectively understand the items that are worked there in overtime. I would have seen a memorandum. I think Tonker would have questioned it, and I would have seen a memorandum as it relates to that emanating from the deputy director. Was him, right? The deputy director of solid waste. But again, sir, I'm not so sure in terms of the operations what's causing that. But those are the 2 departments.
If you want to separate them.
Yes, sir.
Solid waste and the drainage. What would be the total?
Solid, definitely engineer, the largest
Engineer
sum.
is bigger?
Largest sum under the drainage unit. Very, very large sum. Very large.
Another question then, since you're on that subject area.
Yes, sir.
If it was to do a comparative analysis of if we should employ additional person, if it would be less. You want to do that for us at some point?
I have.
You've done that before?
I have, yes, sir, and it will. The employment cost will definitely be less.
Wow. If we employ another person.
Yeah, because we have men who carry double, meaning.
Well, let me check on the man and start.
2 salaries in 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let us look at it because
certainly,
so that we could save money and employ additional persons so that we can have the shift started out so we don't have to pay which is paid time and a half.
Time and a half on a regular,
and weekend is even more.
No, Sundays and holidays would be double, but time and a half for Saturdays and any other day. Sir, I must say that give credit to the HR committee. The matter was raised before the committee, and they did discuss employment, but again, the local government commission shut down on it.
But they can't.
Right, but so we really, we have
to do what's best for the city. Okay, so sir. It's something we must come up with, bring it to the human resource,
again,
and let us look at it.
No problem.
To treat it.
In addition to that, the welfare or employee assistant officer, she has been doing visitations, and for the month of May, she would have visited markets and constabulary department. And throughout, if I was to give a brief synopsis, a few things, because not only did she write on her observations, but she usually come up with recommendations and very workable ones too, in terms of solutions. And we're looking at how best we can improve our working conditions, and that would require some minor repairs to some places, ensure that our toilet facilities are in order, those kinds of things. We can look at how we're motivating staff and improving on staff morale, and she has been doing a good job with that, talking to them and what have you. Yes, sir. Ebronsi McDowell, sir. Yes. Increasing employees' engagement, and one of the things in terms of her observation, she discussed it with me at length, is where employees are indicating to her that they're not able to reach or get good reach with their superiors. The communication link is somehow broken. We understand that there is a communication flow, direction of information, as well as instructions, but at the same time, while we're not saying that you must have easy access to the superiors, I don't believe as a public entity, our superiors should be inaccessible. I agree. And those are things that we can improve on. We can change that so that we can keep a good rapport between the higher levels, the lower levels, just to ensure that they're fully motivated and they know what they're doing at all points in time. Yes, sir. More teamwork. Correct. No, sir. One other thing, she would have given some, I would say, medium to long-term projections. And one of the things some of our staff are suffering, I mean, we're looking to improve staff on the job, is not having a daycare center. I know that it was discussed at the Social Development Committee, and the chairman is very passionate about ensuring that we reopen a daycare center, because in the past, our daycare centers usually catered for our staff children. And now that they have to pay daycare fees, it's a little burden to them. So if we can help to defray that cost by ensuring we have a center that can accommodate our staff and what have you. So I'm hoping that now that the budget has been approved, that the council can look and see what can be done to at least open one center which can help out in that.
Which center do you think is the easiest, fastest? I know that I have my own.
Sir, I would, while South Road is more convenient, in my honest opinion, South Road is a lucrative business investment for this council. Right. They shouldn't put a daycare. They should look more at, no, the one in East Rheinfeld. And East Rheinfeld also, while it might be little, it will not cater much for persons in the central part of the city. The thing about it, it can serve as a hub, correct, because you have interconnectivity going on there. Persons coming from the East Bank, persons in close proximity to those areas. And we can probably do some more analysis in terms of where staff with children are actually located. We can look at that. Where might be a felt need in which communities.
Introspection.
I can ask her to examine that, and of course I'll check it back on what
survey.
So yes, a survey, so we can get some statistics in terms of where we can actually open.
Right. Very so all of that will come as part of a package so that we can have more informed.
To the Social Development Committee, yes, yes, and the very young lady. She's
not though, but I did commit. When I went to the Lions Club thing, that I will try to see if I have that up and running again. But they are part of the Lions. Lions is part of something not of well there.
Yes. It was Festival City, sir. But it wasn't lucrative for the council. That's the thing. We never had too much of children there. As a very few, and that's why East Rheinfeld. That's a better place. And council could look at more other business in the central part of South Road. That would be better. So that's it in a thing. We're still working on training. I got the last week. I finally got the the invitation from the Ministry of Public Service. I think I mentioned before they usually assist us with training, but they're now beginning actually. So they would have invited us to send. So we're currently collating data to send to them with persons who are going to be trained commencing from next Monday.
However, while they're still on the daycare matter,
yes, sir.
Don't let me rule out any particular place. Let me say East Independence,
no problem.
Festival City,
no problem.
And then I'm sure the reasons why this one is more important.
Okay, you want a listing of all and a justification.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. That is basically it, and of course the inconvenience of the market staff of having to be placed in a one little room at the bottom of the engineers department, and if the council can, as a matter of priority, look at having a markets office opened at the Stabrook Market. Right, so that that's basically.
Well, they never been there before.
They were there, but remember they were located on the wharf, and that's non-existent. Right. Yes.
So where they got it constabulary in that space?
Sir, even that building is in a deplorable state. You know, you can see to the ground from the upper flat. So we've got to look at that. No, it's our road. With the oversaw. It's our road.
But there are other people who rent things there.
I'm not so sure, sir. What I would suggest as well, and I know we previously occupied there, maybe if the council can look at maybe some dialogue with Ministry of Home Affairs, where the old fire service headquarters were, and see how if we can get a little space of look, because we once used to occupy it a few years ago. If we can get that facility, I think it would be a good place for us to have an office.
What space would the square footage right now?
Sir, I think the engineer should provide us technical information. I can't. No, definitely. Maybe three room size or 4. Yes. Yeah. And sir, I think more coordination of the work can occur as well, because if this not only have to facilitate the markets, you could have other office, something there that can help.
So the place we got really market people operate from at the bottom of there.
At engineers?
Across the side.
At engineers?
Yeah,
well, they have one room there which they do check us, and the other side is occupied by the electrical guy. And they have things stored there. Yeah, right down there.
You gotta use the place, or we can't reassign the place?
He has materials stored there, the council's materials.
Alright.
Okay, thank you.
But TC, let us explore some other places that the market people could use outside. I heard some suggestions made by the HR, which is the police and so on, but let us look among us to see if we can. There's nothing else at South Road.
South Road also is
South Road might be ideal. Okay.
Is there any questions?
Yes, I'll ask councillors if they'd like to have questions. I'll start with Councillor Copeland and Councillor Mike.
Okay.
The working council office was the same note of the daycares. Now, in the last meeting we had in Social we did look at the daycare, of course. Our direction was mainly on South Road. What we asked was for the engineering department to give some estimate, which they did. Of course, that is from the next report. What would be good if we look at other options? Because what I'm getting basically, we want to see what would be the best option, which you did mention. It would be good to also add
estimates for them as well.
So it's noted. You could see the numbers as well, not variations, so then you could actually make a final decision. But I think it's very important when you go to that. I guess it's that same that site already. It has a big field attached to it.
Correct.
So all of them combined.
Very well, sir. Your worship, definitely, and I think that would be the best way to go forward. Estimates for all of them, so that the committee can look at it in a comprehensive way and make a determination.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I would like to say that the purpose of councillors and having heads of department at the council statutory meeting is for officers to be aware as to what the thrust of the council is in relation to its operation. And secondly, that the officers will be au fait in relation to issues and things that are affecting the council from achieving its target. I say that to say this. Outside of those observations that have come from the workers that Mrs. O'Bruncy,
Ms.
McDowell has engaged the workers on, there is a current theme in the report. I read the report and I made some extra mark a number of places. There's a theme is coming out apart from the recommendations he made. And that theme is the lack of engagement and information as to what is happening from heads of department to the other staff. It's the two areas that she has visited is the constabulary and the markets. And she and the the markets and the constabulary. And she said, even though that's the trend, Mr. Lovell should be credited for the level of information that he shares with the staff so they can be on top of the game in relation to the work as required. But in relation to the constabulary, it is non-existent. Non-existent. It looks so. With ball field without no goal post. Wherever the ball goes, the goal.
So then you say Mr. Darfur gave me no guidance?
That's right, sir. This is what this report is saying. So I'm saying that I read the report and I'm saying to you, sir, that if that is the case, then council need to guide or perhaps admonish that heads of department provide information as to what is happening at the council in relation as it relates to the department and what's that. Because that report is coming out, apart from those other things that Ms. Jarek is talking about, that is what came through with those two departments. Good.
Councillor Jacob.
One second. Your worship, it's important for me to clarify. Right. When I spoke in a general synopsis alluding to what Councillor Hines mentioned about sharing of information. What you do not know is that once we do our reporting, I usually write the officers. They will tell you. Okay. And send memorandums of things that we think they can improve on. I would have written to the chief constable about what was found in terms of his department, and improved that. I would have written to Mr. Venture in the previous month, and I don't think I sent any to the clerk remarks, but we usually do that too. So we do have internal thing, and those are copied to the town clerk, so she's aware.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Councillor Jacobs.
Excuse me, Your Worship. I have an exam at UG at 5 o'clock. I really want to go.
Yeah, we can excuse you when you're done. When you finish.
I know.
Councillor Jacobs, I hear you.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and councillors, I just want to stress on the importance of reading this document and these sorts of reports. So after reading this report, I asked myself, am I really doing a good job as a councillor? And I think that's a question we should all ask ourselves. Because when we sit around this horseshoe table and make decisions, we don't understand what is happening to the people downstairs.
Great.
So my suggestion to this council, Mr. Mayor, is that we have a meeting by department by department, right in City Hall on that tarmac. I know the city constabulary, because of the amount of persons, might be difficult, but you have this meeting where council can be represented by yourself, the mayor, and the deputy mayor, so that you can outline what our council's plans and what support we can provide. Look, if you go through this in other business dealt with, somebody's complaining here about not having the financial resources to study. This is something that is simple that we can handle. I would assume.
But it's something they can write to the town clerk or the head of department.
And send it onwards to us. Mr. Mayor, my point is,
I hear you though.
Is that we should make decisions not just from around this table, also in rubbing shoulders, so we understand and let them. You know, you go department every department and try and fix it, even if it's a little
We should have more
separate difference.
direct relation with these people.
Yes, please. I'm pretty sure that
I do have a lot of direct relation, but I see that I don't get a chance to hear everybody. But I hear you that it's something that we used to do it before, TC, but younger coordinated. It's more coordinated work. Based on what Councilor Jacob said, TC, let's propose something that we could have these kind of meetings. Me saying we meet every quarter or every 6 months. Let us find a way to be able to deal with that and have a roster. We had situations where the mayor used to meet with every head of department. I meet head of department here ever so often anyhow, so I don't really need to meet with them. I have a direct line to everybody. I talk to them. So me feel we have a challenge here. So but outside of that, the other staff and the other persons who might not get their issue remedied or brought to the fore. I say this to say, and I made this reference somewhere, I can't remember when I said it, but I had a business partner many years ago. I think we done with you, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you could go. Yeah. I had a business partner many years ago who was a Muslim. I was a Muslim. And then I am a Christian. So what the man said to me, my mentor, you're a Christian, suppose Jesus forget to carry your message. God, what gonna happen? You know, I said, man, he said, I pray directly to God. Allah is God for them. And he said, this is the position.
So we will be wrapping up the broadcast here at City Hall. They have just made it down to the accepting of the reports. We just heard from the head of the HR department, Ms. Jarek, in relation to the human resource aspect of City Hall for May 2024. There's also scheduled to have the presentation by the City Constabulary, the Finance Department, the Solid Waste Department, and I think the Environmental Department as well for May 2024. However, we'll be ending our broadcast here. Thank you for joining us. Please do remember to share the live. And we'll be here again at the next statutory. I think it's, I don't have the dates yet, but we'll be here for the next statutory. Thank you for joining this live broadcast.
Why can't we just